What are we going to work on today, George? Well, I guess I don't need to explain any more than that. As George mentioned, we're looking for a water leak. Now earlier we replaced the front door seals, the driver and the passenger side, and that drastically cut down on the amount of water that we were getting into the car, but we are still having a water intrusion issue. So we're going to look at some of the common points that water can get into your w123, which this also is going to apply to a lot of other cars. The 116, the 126, and the 124 are all pretty similar in terms of the water drain locations and all that stuff. So we're going to take a look at all these and see if we can figure out where the water is coming in, if we've got a bad window seal, or if we've got a plugged drain somewhere. So let's have a look. One of the first things we want to look at when we have a water intrusion issue with one of these cars is the hood hinge area. Now down in here, it's a little bit hard to see on camera, but right where this hood hinge mounts, right next to the battery here, there's a drain. And that drain is very common to get plugged up, and it'll rust through stuff here, and then you'll end up with water backing up and getting into the car's cabin. And this is true of both sides of the car, the passenger and the driver's side. Water can build up down in there and get in. However, both of these look dry and clean. So I'd say that's not what it is. After having checked out our hood hinge drains for obvious blockage, the next obvious step is to look at the sunroof. So, as you can see, sunroof leak is not going to be my problem. Then your door seals are an obvious step, and then your windshield and rear window seals. Now my gray car had a rear window seal leak, and I'm a little bit suspicious that that's the same thing going on here, because if you look and see all the moisture accumulated on that rear window, makes me suspect that that's where it's coming in through. It seems that the hood hinges are draining properly. I pulled the battery tray out and kind of investigated everything in there, and it does seem like they're doing what they need to do. So we're going to take a look at the front glass, because there are some cracks in this seal. Just spray around this and see if that makes any leaks appear inside. So it does indeed appear that the windshield seal was the culprit. So as a word of caution, or maybe experience speaking, if you're going to replace the windshield seal, and this goes for the front windshield or the rear window also, when you take this rubber stuff off, don't remove your aluminum trim. Otherwise, when you go to put it back in, it will be so bent up, and now mine is kind of wavy and doesn't fit perfect. And yeah, so what you can do is take like a razor blade, just a regular utility knife or something, and you can cut along here and essentially cut this out so that you don't have to pry it out and mangle it all to death. There was all kinds of sealer down in here, just caked in. It looked like there had been issues with the windshield leaking in the past, it seems, because there was sealer just caked in on every spot. I had to scrape to get it off the windshield, and took a wire wheel on my angle grinder to get it off of the car, so I need to touch up some of the paint there so that no rust creeps in on us. So at long last, I've got a dry back seat floor pan. With my car all sealed up now, and we can put the carpets back in here shortly, and then we can get on to some more interesting things that we're going to be doing to this car. So, stay tuned for all that stuff, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.